Hey, what's going on, world? This be your boy Eddie Cool, and welcome to another action-packed episode of your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros podcast. And as always, we want to thank you for rating, reviewing, subscribing, and listening. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell somebody that you really don't care about. Either way, just tell somebody about the Sports Bros podcast. We got a lot going on over here, and we don't want you to miss out on it. As I said, I am the head of creative here, Eddie Cool. And of course, I have two of the best co-hosts in the world because I try to do it by myself and ain't as fun. But I will say this, though, they did a damn good job last week in the absence of the HOC. Introducing first from Fayetteville, North Carolina, El Capitan, manning this here sportacular ship. He is the Almighty Be Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Eddie Cool, just to let you know, you are the HOC for a reason. You were definitely missed. We don't know what the heck we're doing over here, but hey, you are the cohesive unit that keeps this thing going for 7+ years. And I definitely appreciate you covering up that forehead coming back on the air with us this week.
Yeah, I heard you last week.
Wow.
I heard you last week. Heard you last week. It's all good though. Y'all gonna leave my forehead alone. Y'all going. It's you know what that mean. It's a lot of. Let me see. You see this right here? It's hard as hell. This head is hard as hell, but there's a lot of creative brains up in here. You see this? BREINS brains.
Okay.
That's why the forehead is so big.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it, bro. Bro, man, you were definitely missed. Hey, we do what we do, man. But I'm glad to be back here, fellas. I'm gonna let you know something real quick before we dive deep into this podcast. Do you understand how incredibly difficult it is to find linemen for a semi-pro football team? Guys that
Shouldn't
are
be that.
guys that are big but still in shape
Mm.
later on in their years.
Oh,
Oh, Lord. It's okay though. It's okay, man. The Commandos will
You got to pay them. They come out of the woodwork. Ain't no big boy going to go run laps for free.
That is funny. All right. Let me go check the operating budget of our team. All right. Yeah, you're right. But it's the nature of the beast, man. But I thoroughly enjoyed. I enjoy being a coach, and my guys were getting better each rep that we do and everything like that. So I see big things. All right, let's. I went off on a tangent real quick. Go ahead and introduce the other guy and his his love for lacrosse. Go ahead and introduce him and let him talk about it. Oh yeah.
I do.
lax on lax on lax. Ladies and gentlemen, the other guy. He is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania, who didn't get hit by a meteor, along with yours truly, and who thoroughly enjoys the sport of lacrosse. He is the one, the only, the money man, Scotty D.
Hey now, don't dream it's over. And it is for some people playing basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some members of the Kansas Jayhawks up in smoke at the last second there. Happened a couple times. March Madness to me is not disappointing. It's been a lot of fun to watch these games. You know who we haven't seen much of? Cinderella. Cinderella has not been around. And I guess we can get into that a little bit here, but for the second consecutive Sunday here in Western Pennsylvania, I cut grass only to see snow on Monday. Yeah, we got flurries out there right now. It's not coming down, but it's not enough snow to snow out the lacrosse game that I'll be attending here shortly. I do like lacrosse. I tend to think that some of the games are scheduled too many minutes on the clock in lacrosse, but it's better than soccer.
Wow.
Oh boy. Oh wow. He said lacrosse is better than soccer. Yeah,
It
man.
is. It is. It's more fun to watch. There's more things happening, more action, more. You got guys out there hitting each other with the stick.
The most popular
Knocking
sport in the world.
I don't live in the world. I live in the United States, and that's not.
That's what's wrong with it. Ooh,
It's not popular.
Oh.
All right, let's move on.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get into this. Let's talk about the women's double NCAA. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about something people are interested in. Let's get into the top of the order here.
He don't live in the world. He lives in the United. That is what's wrong.
The U.S. is a part of the world. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into it.
I don't live in all that over there. I live right here. Right here.
All right, let's get this thing.
Ooh,
I don't.
I don't live in the
Mm,
world. I
mm,
live
mm,
in
mm.
the United States. What's wrong with
And
us
it's
right now?
that's a part of the world. Anywho, speaking of being a part of the world or part of the United States, March Madness, it is hot. It is heavy. It's a whole lot going on. As Scotty did mention, we haven't seen Cinderella. We haven't seen the mice. We haven't seen the pumpkins. We ain't seen Prince Charming. We ain't seen none of them. But what we have seen is some great basketball. All right, fellas, it started off with, was it 68, 64, 32, and now we're down to the Sweet 16. No, I'm not belting out lottery numbers. I'm talking about this here March Madness tournament. Fellas, when it comes to this tournament, what is our takeaways from the tournament and also the biggest surprises thus far? And anybody can go first.
Well, Scotty D, the biggest thing to me, and it really isn't much of a surprise, just the nature of college sports in general, especially with college basketball and college football.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it best. Where are the Cinderellas? It just it's like right now, technically speaking, Texas is your Cinderella, being the only double digit seed that remains.
Hmm.
And in what world would we ever consider Texas a Cinderella? Never.
Never.
Not with their operating budget. Oh no. And so it has come to this. It really has come to this is that um it I think I spoke to the other I think last week where your mid major teams are are basically to the point where they're accepting that their conference championships are their Super Bowls, as we like to call like different events. The conference championships are their national championships because that's just the nature of where we sit right now. I'm going to do this quick parallel, and then I'm going to get back into the actual sport, the games itself. Remember, we were having this conversation about the group of five in college football, and where people were like, "Oh, the group of five shouldn't be in the playoff and everything like this."
Mhm.
It should be just like it is in college basketball. Give the kids a chance, get them on the field, whatever it is and how it happens. Let them play the games, and then hey, it is what it is. Give one a chance or something like that. But at the end of the day, the cream will always rise to the top and whatnot. But man, when we talk about the games that have been on the court this past weekend, absolute insanity. It's called madness for a reason. How many buzzer beaters, last second shots, close games? The the reigning defending national champions are out after the first weekend. That tends,
Gone.
that tends to happen a lot, but you still is one of those things, man. When you are the reigning champ, you got a huge bullseye on your back. And man, oh man, I still feel like the best is yet to come. But man, we if the first weekend is an indicator of how this tournament's going to go, man, second weekend's got some huge shoes to fill. Man, oh it just where do we start? Which game do we start? Do we start with the Vanderbilt Nebraska game where literally the ball?
Yes, because that was the best game of the tournament,
It was like
bar none. That was the best game. I mean, there were several had great finishes. This was the best game all the way through.
God,
I mean, you can look at Kansas and St. John's was a game that I think a lot of people circled as a real big game. The game itself was terrible. Throughout the game was terrible. Great finish, terrible game. Nebraska and Vanderbilt was great the whole way through. Neither team, I think, got up more than 7 points, and it was just like a boxing match. Just one, you take a blow and give one back. You get hit and you come right back. Man, was that good! And it came down to a shot that was halfway down
it was in that ball was in the cylinder and then popped back out, and
from three
it
point
defied
range. Yeah,
it defied physics, and man, it it's one of those things where, of course, we want to win our brackets, all the stuff like that. But man, some of these games, I'm like, man, it's just good basketball. Like, just it is hard fought. It is to the wire. No lead. Let me say this for people in the back. No lead is safe. Tell that to the North Carolina Tar Heels. Tell that
Oh,
to a bunch of other teams. Tell it to St. John's because Kansas was out of that game for 39
Yeah,
39
they were
minutes and
up
30
14 points with what, like 5 minutes to go, something like that.
like it no lead is safe. Man, oh man, like it's just so much. Like it's absolutely crazy. Like I said, the Nebraska Vanderbilt game back and forth the entire game. I mean, you look at a team like Texas that barely got by NC State in the first four. Now they're in the Sweet 16. Can they be the giant beaters? Who knows? St. John's in Kansas, two legendary coaches facing off each other. Easily Hall of Fame coaches. And man, cream rises to the top. Man, it's a beautiful thing.
Michigan versus Alabama, and it's not for a football national championship.
ain't that something? Yeah, for the first time in forever.
And man, the way Alabama's been playing, woo.
And I was expecting them to falter because they
Right.
they lost their guy.
The second leading scorer,
Yeah.
drug kingpin himself. But Alabama said, don't even worry about it. We got a plan. We got a strategy. Unlike the North Carolina Tar Heels when they lost their best coach. I keep going back to the Tar Heels. And then Clemson's just, why can't we get past the first round?
Well, the team they lost to knocked off the national championship in the next game behind that. And I mean, I didn't have Iowa in my Sweet 16. I can tell you that. Not getting through Clemson and Florida. And it robbed us. Remember last week, Live, you and I were talking about the possibility of Florida and Houston in a rematch in Houston. And we're not getting that now.
Nope.
But it does open the door for Houston to have a little bit of an easier time getting to their goal without having to go through Florida and a guy who's like 9'11" or whatever he is.
Was it the dude from Prairie View A&M? He was like, man, you
yeah, he was a good
man,
foot sitting next to him.
He's like, man, you a big old boy. And he was like,
now if I might be mistaken, but it looks like he's like on the third string. Like he doesn't even get that much playing time.
I haven't seen him on the floor much, if at all.
Because it was like literal garbage time against Prairie View A&M that he was. I was like, nah, Florida, y'all know better than that. Now y'all up by like 40, and now you're gonna put a 7'9" guy on the court against Prairie View A&M. Like, come on, bro. But hey.
PV. No, I'm stopped.
Man, oh man, like the shoot. Even though Kentucky's no longer in it, man, that game against Santa Clara that went into overtime, like half court shot that sent them into overtime to have them go another round. Man, it's literally like there's a full slate of like incredibly tight games, and this is just the first weekend. Man,
I'm rooting for Izzo. I want to see Izzo come through there and shock everybody.
Michigan State.
I'm an Izzo guy. I like Izzo.
Oh,
28 straight years in the NCAA tournament and getting to go against UConn in the next matchup. That one there. That's a tasty treat right there, buddy. Harley and his 2 championships going against Izzo. Yeah, 2-3 matchup, and UConn didn't have a too tough of a time with UCLA. They kind of faltered down the stretch. UConn not really challenged too much yet in this tournament, but to revisit the point though about the Cinderella thing. Yeah, Texas is the lowest seed and not a mid major.
Right.
Theoretically, I feel like when we were this thing started getting going with the expanded 64 back in the mid to late 80s. You didn't see a lot of 2s and 3s losing in the first 2 rounds. They were pretty much givens. They were going to the Sweet 16, and then somewhere along the way, it felt like the mid majors were catching up. Maybe as recently as like a decade ago, wasn't that surprising to see a 14 beat a 3 in the first round, or a 13, a 13 or a 12 to beat a 4. And I think a lot of that could be attributed to the fact that the bigger, better programs, the blue chips, the Kentuckys, North Carolina Dukes, they're getting guys that were bound for the NBA, so they'd play a year and move on. While your mid majors, your Xaviers and your Valparaisos and Vandy's, not Vandy's, VCU's, they had guys that would play together for four years or so. So you get experienced guys that are a little bit older against freshmen, and it kind of leveled it out a little bit. And some of these mid-major teams were having a lot more success. Well, now with this NIL stuff, you're if you have a chance to go to one of these big programs, to a Kentucky or a North Carolina, and you're going to be the 5th or 6th guy on the team and not play, well, why would you do that if you could go to a mid-major, start, and then get recruited to a better place? And transferring is easy. It's free agency now. It used to take a lot to transfer from one school to another. You used to have to sit out a year and give blood and write a 40-page dissertation of why you would want to get. And now it's just it's easy, and you're following the money. The sword, yeah. And it used to be coaches were recruiting high school players, and now they're recruiting mid-majors. They're getting guys who have gotten experience playing and have played well, and they're moving them up and over. And so I think that's kind of taking its toll on Cinderella, the fact that you don't have the guys that are playing 4 years against guys that are playing 1 year as much, where they're moving up a little bit. They're taking money and going to bigger programs.
Well, what makes it worse is that the NCAA hasn't even defined what tampering is. So your big programs are targeting mid-major programs while they're still playing.
Yeah,
there was a big thing. I think it was Queen's University. Like their top guy, they were literally in their conference tournament, and there was a assistant coach from a major program at the conference tournament, like talking to the guy after the game, like, "Hey, after this all said and done, you ain't even gotten out of your uniform yet, but we got something for you at a major program."
That's a perfect example, because this kid, whoever he is you're talking about from Queens, was probably overlooked and would never have had an opportunity. So he goes to that school, plays well, and now he's going to get a chance to move up. And you can't blame him if they're going to throw a little bit of money at him to go to a more prestigious place. I mean, it's the nature of college sports, how it's always changing now.
Yeah,
that's a great example of Be Live right there.
Yeah, it is, because as soon as you get accustomed to one thing, next thing you know, here come the old switcheroo. It's like, well, damn, like what the hell's going on here? But let's go ahead and take a look, shall we, fellas, at some of these matchups that we got here. If I can pull it up on my cell phone, because I had it on my phone, but it disappeared and everything. Got a live TV, ladies and gentlemen, live TV.
Oh, Duke and St. John's is just jumping off the page at me. I mean,
John Shire versus
Coach K and Bettino meeting up again.
And they're not necessarily meeting up, but that's cool.
Yeah, we'll leave it where it is. So
yeah, Coach K's not there anymore, right? Coach K's gone.
Yep, him gone. He not there no more. So speaking of matchup, fellas, everything resumes on Thursday. So which one of these matchups are we most intrigued about?
I can tell you off jump. The game I'm looking at is Arizona versus Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arkansas, the way they've been playing, the past month, winning the SEC. I think his name's Dylan Acuff, or I can't remember his first name, but it's
from Arkansas.
Yeah, from Arkansas. This dude is playing out. Darius Acuff Jr.
Darius Acuff. Yeah.
He is playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's having during the SEC tournament, and now during the big dance and everything, this guy can't be stopped. Mm-hmm. And so Now he's going to get a chance to go against the number one team in the country with Arizona. And Arizona, the entire that side of the country, they are begging. They're begging for somebody close to the West Coast to win a championship. It's been since 1997 since anybody on that side of, like, you could actually put a line halfway down the United States of America, and all the champions have been east of that center divide
Yep.
since 1997.
Really?
Yeah,
That was Arizona in 97, huh?
I could be.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Miles
So,
Simon and
Mike Bibby.
Bibby, yeah.
Yeah. Was Stoudemire on that team, or was he already gone at that time?
I don't think he was on that team.
Yeah, he was gone. He was the legendary coach Lute Olson, and I remember that like it was yesterday, man. I really do.
and even the breakdown now is literally there's 15 teams on the eastern side of the country, and then there's Arizona. So man, even Arizona State, I don't think Arizona State's going to root for Arizona, but I'm
No,
looking
probably
at
not.
I'm looking at that game because I do have Arkansas going all the way. I have Arkansas in my championship game, losing to Houston. So we'll see. We'll see Thursday 9:45 p.m. on
Yeah.
CBS.
All right, so third sequence Thursday. We got number 2 Purdue versus number 11 Texas, number 1 Arizona versus number 4 Arkansas. Then Friday, we got Duke versus St. John's, a 1-5 matchup. Another 1-4 matchup in Michigan versus Alabama. And yeah, as you said, Texas, can they keep the proverbial slipper on? So yeah, this is the time of the year. This is the time of the tournament where it's like, okay, we went from 68, 64, 32, 16, and now it's the cream of the crop, the best of the best, and won't be no blowout wins and everything. So it'll be interesting to see how this tournament goes. Scotty D, I know this ain't got nothing to do with the price of milk or gas or everything else nowadays, but you got the shirt on, Scotty D. Let's talk about your LA Lakers real quick. The third
Why?
place
Why? No,
LA Lakers.
no,
It's an
no.
it's a beat
That,
out. It's an
was not in the lineup.
no
That was not top of the order. I won't
no.
allow it. We are sticking on
But
college basketball just because you ran out of stuff to talk about. No, we
no,
no.
no, 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 not right.
No.
Be like this deserves to be talked about because the Lakers, they've been kind of, not really in the mix of everything. But Scotty D, talk about your Lakers, especially you got doggone Luka Doncic scoring 100 points and on a back-to-back. What is going on in La La
Yeah,
Land?
I don't know. I haven't seen. I've been watching the college stuff. So I have not watched. I've been
See,
following
David,
along
let's bring
how
it
they're
back to
winning.
college.
But here,
Don't anybody care about the freaking Lakers?
I would say that the two most important words:
You just want
brawny. There you go,
you,
brawny.
you open that door for him. You seriously open that door for him. For
Luka, brawny.
Might as well just go and get it out of the way. Let's find us something to talk about the Yankees and the freaking Cowboys.
And the trifecta is complete. Thank you, B Live. No,
Thank you for mentioning all that. Yeah.
no, but I thought, I received a message like, hey, y'all don't talk about the Lakers, man. They over here doing
Who
some
said
third place
that?
stuff. Huh? I'm not telling. But anyways, I was told that I'm not telling. I don't kiss and tell. But I also thought personally that talking about the Lakers was a good topic because everybody been talking about everybody. They've been talking about who out in the West, San Antonio and OKC. So I'm like, hey, show Lakers some love. I'm like, all right, we'll show them some love. And there it
They
is.
have won 9 in a row, which
Mhm.
is actually the current streak of 9 in a row is still 2 less than OKC. They've won 11 in a row. But the Lakers have managed to climb to third in the Western Conference. So no play-in games this year, no 8-9 matchups.
Luca loses custody of his child and gets a divorce and turns into a different animal. All right. And
Got to shed the dead weight.
And to Eddie's anonymous little source or whoever and wants to input what we talk about on our show, Eddie Cool may not kiss and tell, but whoever you are can kiss my ass. All right.
Oh Lord, we trying to get viewers,
Sorry, Mama
not
Live.
run them off.
Sorry, Mama Live, for him saying that to you.
Oh, oh boy, here we go.
Woo!
But but you know what? It was me me bringing this up. It was well worth it. I was like, he really doing all this. I mean, it's your boy been busy, man. It's been a whole lot going on. I'm going to see my therapist on Thursday. Your boy tired, all right? Your boy tired. You see these eyes here? You see these eyes here? These are eyes of a tired man. But still though, still Thursday. Yes, I'm off Thursday, so I'll probably be watching some of these games so I can have a chance to actually sit down, watch the games, take it in.
Yeah, I think I'd
Probably have.
invite the therapist over. Say, hey, look, come on over. We're gonna watch these and talk.
Uh, what time's the first game tip off?
They're not. They're all in the evenings from here on in.
Looks like
7 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh hell no! My session's at 1. I need it when the sun is up and I'm coherent because after about 5:30, 6 o'clock. But yep. So with that being said, fellas, that about anything else we want to add on the tournament before we move on?
Just want to give a quick shout out to, I believe, if I saw it correctly, looking at the Sports Bros bracket match.
Yeah, be like the brackets. I forgot what them brackets look like. I know mine are shot to hell after day one. But go ahead.
No. If going by what's going on right now, it looks like Corey. I think Corey Turner.
Yeah, Corey Turner. Shout out to Corey Turner.
Yeah, he's in the lead right now. He's got a 10-point lead, and then there's a couple people I have no idea who they are. I'm gonna assume one person in third place by them picking Michigan as their champion. I think that's my boy Tristan that probably put in a bracket, and then him, you, and the two of you are all tied in third place with 470 points. And I'm sitting slightly behind y'all with 460 points. So
you have an advantage because Eddie and I both lost the Final Four team.
okay.
I had Virginia. I lost him. Eddie had Florida.
I had Florida. So yeah, you got a leg up on that one. Yeah, doggone.
Looking at that max. Oh yeah, that max score looking all right. But hey, it's still plenty of basketball to be played. Because I had Florida losing their Sweet 16 matchup. So I did not have Florida going far. Virginia, I had feeling it was going to be Virginia at some point in time. But I did lose an Elite 8 team in Vanderbilt.
Ugh.
That, like I said, that's why that shot hurt so much. Because I had Vandy going this is like I said, it's madness, baby. Oh yeah, it is absolute madness. I am leading in my bowling, the bowling league that I go to, the bowling alley I go to. I am leading in that in their bracket challenge. So hopefully, if I stay with that, I have a chance to win a new bowling ball. And Scotty D, I'm gonna need you to get that smirk off your face.
I didn't even say anything.
I'm looking at I'm looking at you. I'm looking dead at you. The smirk on your face. I don't like it at all.
I didn't say anything.
As soon as I mentioned bowling, he go.
I was like, I'm gonna say this. Shut up. But before I go any further,
I didn't even say anything about it.
You don't have to say that. Your face. It's the smirk.
No, I didn't.
You're subconscious.
I'm just pleasant.
Your eyes.
I wasn't smirking. I'm just pleasant.
Feast your eyes. They tell the story. Shout out to Donovan Dijak on that one. Well, with that being said, looking at my phone because I've yet to get to watch. That ain't gonna never happen. Guess what time it is?
What's happening? What's going on with your brother?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. This time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. And yes, we're gonna talk about college basketball. With that being said, hey, yo, Button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming at you right after this. Stay. Don't you dare go away.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices. And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and
Ever so lovely, Miss Button.
for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices, where we ask you a question, you give us an answer, and we talk about it right here on the choices of the voices on your favorite sports podcast, the Sports Bros podcast. Scotty D, what's on tap for this week's choices of the voices?
Well, it was 2 weeks ago. We asked, what was your all-time favorite, or you could say heartbreaking, most memorable March Madness buzzer beater? And a few people chimed in.
A few chimed in. You know, sometimes we like a lot, sometimes we like a few, but this time we got a few. All right. The best name in the game, JoJo Comfort. He says, I remember this one well. Lorenzo Charles from NC State with the putback to give Jim Valvano and the Wolfpack a natty over Houston and Phi Slammer Jammer. Is that the one where he was running on the court trying to find somebody to hug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They play that back every single year when it comes to the V Foundation.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that is absolute. That is legendary. That is a goated segment. NC State. I don't think did they ever even return after that.
I don't think so.
Who, NC State?
Yeah.
No.
I think the close they may have gotten was a few years ago when we were talking about them.
I think there was one time they made it to like the Sweet 16, but I don't think they ever made it past that. But yeah, that segment, I mean,
didn't they get to the Final Four like 2 years ago? Didn't they get real hot, make a run through the ACC 2 years ago, 3 years ago? They end up winning the ACC tournament, I believe, and
they five wins in 5 days.
Yeah,
and then I
think they got to the Final Four that year.
This was a few years ago.
Yeah, like maybe 3 years ago.
Let me hit up our.
But they have not been to the championship game. I know that they have not gone back to the championship.
They have it. All right. Next one, we got Joe Jacek, and he says the 2016 Villanova National Championship with Chris Jenkins, not the football player, drilling a long-distance three-pointer at the buzzer. That one was the one versus North Carolina, right?
Yeah. Where North Carolina had just hit one on their own just to give them the lead, and then there's a full length of the court trip Nova had to make quickly.
Yep. And they did it.
And it was money. It was money.
Straight in there, right? All right, we got Antonio Green. He says that Villanova one was such an uproar live. I didn't see the other ones, but I felt this one, bro. I thought an earthquake was shaking. Yeah, that was. If you were watching at home, you can just feel the energy through the TV. I swear you could. You really could.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's research department has concluded that, Scotty, you're absolutely right. How did I miss that? They went all the way to the Final Four 2 years ago. Imagine. All right, I need an MRI scan of my brain. But yeah, they went all the way to the Final Four 2 years ago. Man, yeah,
who beat them?
Purdue.
Zach Edey.
Yep. Good old Zach Edey's like 9 foot tall, and what is he doing? Shooting threes in the NBA? Nah, I think he's playing in the post, but good for him.
And then Purdue ended up losing to UConn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then UConn won. Yep. So all right. So that being said, shout out to Antonio Green, Joe Jacek, and the best name in the game, JoJo Comfort, for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. Fellas, I'll go first. We talked a lot about the men's tournament, but I'm going to talk about this memorable one from the women's tournament because I watched both of them live, all right? It was 2018, the national semifinal, where it pitted UConn versus Notre Dame, all right? Orike Ogunbowale, all right? She sinks a step-back two-pointer versus UConn in overtime as Notre Dame defeats UConn 91-89 in the national semifinal game. On to the national championship, where we have Mississippi State versus Notre Dame. And Ogunbowale, she does it again. She nails a three-pointer as it was seconds left in regulation to defeat the Lady Mississippi State Bulldogs 61-58 to win the national championship. So she hit two clutch shots to win it all for the Lady Fighting Irish. I remember watching that both because I think that's the year South Carolina got eliminated from the, yeah, I think they played, was it Mississippi State, Notre Dame? They played one of those schools. They got eliminated. I was like, well, I might as well stick around and watch the rest of it. But yeah, that was I remember that as yesterday. Ogumbawale with the dagger. For the Fighting Irish. What say you, Scotty D?
Well, I can tell you that the Leitner shot against Kentucky was the most sickening thing I'd ever seen when it came to college basketball. Um, there's one I had forgotten this one, but back in 2021, Jalen Suggs of Gonzaga hit a half-court shot to beat UCLA 93-90 that sent them to the Final Four. Gonzaga had been knocking on that championship door and sniffing around it, and UCLA actually tied the score up with 3.3 seconds to go, and Suggs hits a half-court shot, banked it in, and Gonzaga was off to the Final Four. And this one here always stuck out to me, and be like, you're going to hate it, but there was a guy named Tate George hit a buzzer beater with 1 second. Are you old enough to remember that? Like, do you remember watching that? It was in 1990.
Yeah, it was that. I was doing my little pre-show research, and I was not old enough to remember it, but it came across during my research. I said,
yeah, it was
yeah,
a length of the court throw to Tate George for UConn, and I even question now watching it if he got it off in time, but it was 1 single second. They didn't have the point anything on the clock back. It was 1 single second, and Tate George hit a turnaround jumper to beat Clemson. And was it the second round or to get to the Sweet 16? Maybe I think it was the second round.
I think to get to the Sweet 16.
I think it was. I think it was the second round, and I can remember that was a really good game, and watching that, and I remember Eldon Campbell looking stunned, and then he would be a Laker shortly thereafter. But I just remembered, like, he was the guy that was guarding the inbound pass length of the court pass, and I just remember the sick look on his face because that was improbable because Clemson was just trying not to foul. I mean, you're not going to foul a guy shooting with 1 second length of the court, but that one sticks out in my mind because I remember watching that game live. But yeah, there was a couple, and I don't even remember who I was rooting for. I don't really care about that. Yeah. I was, for or against either of those teams, but yeah, those were a couple of the ones that stick out to me. How about you, B-Lab? What you got?
Oh man, well, I knew going into this question that everybody and their grandmother was going to mention the Villanova North Carolina game, and because that was ridiculous. But people immediately that sticks out in their brain. But if you follow North Carolina basketball, they redeemed themselves literally the next year with Luke May hitting that 2-point shot. It was 0.3 seconds left, but you might as well call it a buzzer beater that lifted North Carolina over Kentucky and put North Carolina in the Final Four, where they eventually won the whole thing. So they lost in the national championship in 2016 against Villanova, made it all the way back and won the championship in 2017 off the strength of Luke May and that buzzer beater against Kentucky. That right there was huge because I don't think it gets much bigger when it comes to blue bloods than North Carolina versus Kentucky. And this was an Elite Eight game. Oh man, the hype was there. I think the only other game I think I've watched in my lifetime that had more hype than that game was when North Carolina faced Duke in the final
next week. Yeah,
that was insanity. But man, that Luke May shot, he was like basketball royalty when it came to North Carolina after that and everything like that. And then they ended up winning it all. So people tend to remember 2016 for the heartbreak, but they immediately redeemed themselves in 2017. Mm-hmm. So I remember that one vividly. Oh goodness, the state was rocking. Oh, yeah.
I remember his brother coughing up the Super Bowl like it was.
I'm about to say, yeah, ain't that his brother?
Yep. Oh man, but yeah, May brothers doing something good, bad, and different, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
Tar Heel royalty.
All right. And with that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for next week?
Well, I'd like to kind of see what other people think about this topic that we talked about earlier about the Cinderella. Do you like the lack of Cinderella? Do you miss Cinderella? How do you feel about the current tournament the way it is? Do you like it better, or do you like it better the old way, or do you just not care? Just like, I like watching basketball no matter what happens. So we'll just talk. We'll kick that around. We'll see if we can get a couple fish on the hook to discuss that. Do you miss Cinderella, or do you like the heavyweights advancing through the NCAA tournament? We'll talk about that one next week, Eddie. Cool.
No, Florida Gulf Course, was it Lob City?
Yeah.
Lob City. Lob City. Yeah, they was. Yeah, they was.
Who was the team that had the nun?
Loyola,
Yeah,
Marymount,
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago. Yeah,
Chicago.
Loyola
Yeah.
Chicago. Yep. Yep. So yeah, the you know I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to answer the question, but it's always cool to be like, who is this team? Who is that team? And they're
He
like,
trying to locate where they're actually located.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
It took
People,
me a lot of years to figure out Gonzaga was in Washington.
yep. Spokane to be exact. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know that for many years.
yeah,
I keep forgetting. Like,
yeah.
if you'd asked me that question right now, I'd have had to Google it. It's one of those things where we know you by name. We don't necessarily know where you're located.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, yeah. What set you claim, fool? Yeah, we don't. We definitely don't know that.
I guarantee you, I could like. Do y'all know where? Like, even though y'all spend a lot of time in South Carolina, do y'all know where High Point is located at?
High Point, North Carolina, the furniture capital of the world and home of
Yeah.
Fantasia Barreno.
But how many people outside of our area knows where High Point is at?
I wasn't even sure when I saw them in the tournament that was the same place. I was like, is there another? I mean,
yeah.
I know it is the furniture place. Honestly, that's.
I
have a friend that goes there all the time. So
now that you say that though, I wonder if that has something to do with some of the amenities that High Point has. Like, have you seen some of there are like the basketball arena and like there's money has been poured into that university. A lot.
good for them. I hope they continue success.
Yeah. So that I just I look at stuff like that and I'm like, but yeah, we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that next week. Yeah. That is a very good topic. Very good topic.
And then we got our guy number 99. Hey, you know what? He won't take a free throw. He won't make a 2-pointer, but when it comes to 3-pointers, what does he does? What does he keep doing, Scotty D?
Keep putting it up.
Yep.
Keep jacking it.
Just shoot the three.
Show that.
Shoot it.
I'm 0 for 5 from the field. Don't matter. Shoot. We play in the Big South. It don't matter. We play Winthrop and all them. So just keep shooting the doggone ball. Yeah, the High Point Panthers men basketball team in High Point, North Carolina. They represent the Big South Conference, and the Panthers have appeared twice in the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament. Most recently, this year, under first-year coach Flynn Clayman. Almost call him Clint Fryman. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Let's see some notable players from there. Tubby Smith, who's a NCAA coach, and John Brown III, a French National League basketball player and a EuroLeague player as well too. But we're not going to dive too deep into High Point history. Just no, if you want some good furniture and want to hear Fantasia Barreno sing, that's where you go. High Point, North Carolina. All right. With that being said, that does it for this edition of the Choices of the Voices. We're not grabbing no pepper grinders. Matter of fact, hey, take that 5-pound donut off that bat. Step into the batter box because it's time for the walk-off shot right here on the Sports Bros podcast. A donut.
Okay, boys, time to wrap it up. Let's go home with some walk-off shots.
Well, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home, step up to the plate, and put one out the park. The walk-off shot. we're doing a little different. I know you used to pepper, but we're still gonna give you 3 topics. We're gonna elaborate, talk about it, and we're still here to educate, entertain. Ooh, I forgot the 4 E's in no particular order. Educate, entertain,
Enlighten.
engage, and enlighten. Yes, there you go. See what happens when you're sleep deprived and burn the candle at both ends and then take a week off, you get all discombobulated. I tell people, I said, I gotta do things in constant rotation because if I take some time off, bandwidth, dump. You won't get no more. All right. With that being said, I'll go first. Usually I do some historic, but I want to give a shout out to Layla Edwards. Fellas, do we remember who Layla Edwards is?
The name sounds familiar. I'm trying to.
Was she on the OJ jury?
No. She's from Cleveland Heights up in Ohio. And you remember the women's national hockey team? She played a role on the women's national hockey team.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so Sunday night, right? The Cleveland, according to Cleveland Magazine on Facebook, Cleveland Heights native Layla Edwards and the University of Wisconsin Lady Badgers won back-to-back NCAA national championships, beating the Ohio State University 3-2. All right, it is Edwards' third national championship since joining the Badgers. The victory comes after Edwards won gold in the 2026 Winter Olympics this past February.
Yeah.
And next for the Clevelander is her college graduation in May, and Edwards also has the potential of being drafted to play in the Professional Women's Hockey League this year. Championships, gold medals. I'm pretty sure the girls' trophy case is like yay big, but all kind of stuff on. So shout out to Cleveland's own Layla Edwards for doing the damn thing.
Yeah, and I think she's like 6'1".
Yeah.
So she, out of all the players on Team USA, she's like a good 4 or 5 inches taller than everybody else on the team. But hey,
yeah,
Layla Edwards, keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Outstanding job. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's like the Zdeno Chara of that team, just big, physical, and will knock you down. And she ain't afraid to put the biscuit in the basket. Over to you, Scotty D. Oh, there you go.
Well, I'm going to actually stick on the topic of women's basketball. A few years ago, we had a young lady named Eden Williamson, who's a friend of whose family I'm friends with, went to Trinity and played basketball for the Trinity Hillers, and then went on to play for NYU and lost for the first time this past week. NYU went on, since she was there, to win 91 straight games. That is an NCAA second place record, only behind UConn women, who went 111. They actually passed up John Wooden's UCLA Bruins by winning this 91 game win streak. So their quest for a third straight NCAA Division III title came to an end with a 60-52 loss to Scranton, school located out in the northeastern part of Pennsylvania. But man, I mean, how could you hang your head over that? You have won 91 straight games, and almost nobody in history, except just a couple girls played for UConn, can say they went to college and won 91 straight games. So I just wanted to say congratulations to all the NYU team for that historic run, and maybe get them next year. Start another streak going up there.
As well.
Be last. Over to you.
Oh, I so like to call it my third and final pepper point, but this is a walk.
You can call it that.
You can do that now.
You can give it a nickname.
I'm knocking it out in the park with this one. All right, can we finally put this thing to bed? Please, pretty please. When it comes to professional sports, can we leave it to the professions of that actual sport?
I think I know you're going, but go ahead.
Just because you are athletic and you're good at one form of the sport doesn't mean you're good at all forms of the sport. You know why I'm being very vague with the beginning of this? Because I want to hit it where it hurts. NFL players. That does not automatically translate to you being good flag football players. And it showed. You guys look silly out there. You couldn't touch these guys on Team USA.
Waxed.
Leave flag football to the flag football professionals. It's a completely different game. And I'm going to say something real quick. For those fans out there of the Cincinnati Bengals, man, I would be pissed watching Joe Burrow out there cutting and just seeing his knee out there and everything. There was one cut. I was like,
he said his knee.
Wait a minute. We're paying you $55 million and you out there with one step away from a 20. Man, if you don't go somewhere and sat down. I understand Tom Brady being out there doing whatever. But Jaden Daniels, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, bruh, please sit down. I wish I wish Bryce Young would be out there trying to play flag football. No. Leave the game to the flag football professionals.
Recruit Dak. Dak could be out there.
He's like,
send Dak.
Man, it just please let these. I think the quarterback name Doucette or Doucette. But man, these guys are good. These are the guys that elevate the game of flag football. NFL players, please take several seats and let these guys shine. Agreed. Let USA flag football shine. Let these guys, because Olympic sports is supposed to be amateurism to start with. Yes, we love our little dream team when it comes to basketball, but the majority of these sports are people that do this once every 4 years. They compete in other things or whatnot. But let NFL players please just stick to NFL, stick to the pads.
They got beat like what 33-0.
One game was 43-16. Team USA crushed Tom Brady's Founders FFC, and then they beat Joe Burrow's Wildcats 39-16. Like it wasn't. These games were not close. Like I think they said that the only time that USA didn't score was when they went into victory formation.
Wow.
So it's like, bruh, please let them shine. Let them shine.
Yeah, let them shine. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for another episode of SportsBros Podcast, episode 335. We want to thank you for hanging with us for these past 7 years. Continue to rate, review, subscribe. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all the social media networks, man. Come and check us out. We got some funny stuff going on. We see that y'all like the reel, so we're going to take some clips out of the show and give y'all some good reels. But be sure to come back and watch the podcast. And then in closing, do something nice for yourself. If you can, do something nice for someone else. They're greatly appreciated now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. Protect your mental health and just be nice to each other, all right? It's been another episode of Sports Bros Podcast. Coach B Live, take us home.
Yes, sir.
I'm doing my mental toughness drill. All right. For the Almighty B, for the Almighty B Live, the Money Man Scotty D, it's your boy Eddie Cool, and we're out. See ya.
They're going to investigate Tyler Reddick and Michael Jordan in NASCAR. 4 wins, 6 races. They're going to investigate that. That's wild.
Come pee in a cup. Really?
Jump man. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, race man winning everything. Hey, bye. See y'all next week. Continue to watch, rate, review, subscribe. We out.